You can't draw your balls in a Dyson Airblade. Now, you can. You can. You can. You absolutely can. You just need to commit to the projects. Well, some of the older blokes will find it easier than the younger blokes to get their balls into the Dyson Airblade, but that is simply the ravages of time on the male anatomy. That's my new proverb. It's like I always saying it, can't dry your balls in a Dyson Airblade. What the fuck are you talking about, haven't you? Zen, you got to think about it. We need new proverbs, don't we? Most of our proverbs are out of date. Proverbs are beautiful. Proverb is an act of magic, right? It's a cluster of words that sparks an idea from a mind to a mind over generations to tell you there's precedent for how you live your life. You're part of the wider human condition. But most of our proverbs are 100, 200 years old. Someone go back as far as Shakespeare. They don't necessarily describe our lives in this rapidly changing world. You know, for example, the proverb, a bad workman blames his tools, right? I'm sure you're all familiar with this proverb, right? A bad workman blames his tools. Well, not in my experience. Because in my experience, a bad workman blames the Muslims. And 9 times out of 10, they're racist pricks, aren't they? Bad workmen. You ask a bad workman what's gone wrong with the country, he won't go, well, it's just drill. That's why this nation's fucked, mate. This drill simply doesn't have the torque to get through masonry. He won't say that. He will say, creep in Sharia, which is my burlesque name. We need new proverbs, don't we? Proverbs fit for purpose in the modern world. Right? When in Rome, turn off data roaming. Okay, your credit. If a picture paints 1,000 words, why were there 3 Hobbit films? It's a short book. If a picture paints 1,000 words and actions speak louder than words, then why are art galleries so fucking quiet? It's less funny, isn't it? That one more. That's an area I'm trying to move into. Because the piece of piss make all people laugh. As I say, it's getting increasingly difficult to make money off it, so I'm going to make people go, instead. I reckon I can elevate that to the states of a martial art, right? I reckon if someone's trying to attack you and you say something genuinely profound, you buy yourself about 20 seconds just to get the fuck out of there. Give me your money! Have you ever considered that every time you see a person you think you recognise, that moment in time the person you're thinking of might be looking at someone that resembles you? Don't dawdle. So I've been doing ritual magic for over 10 years now, and it works. It always works. It works if you do it properly. And I've had incredible experiences, beautiful experiences. I've spoken to a dead friend shortly after he died about the details of what it felt to die, and that details were kind of panned out in the way he was found, information I didn't have at that point in time. I've spoken to Greek and Roman gods and goddesses. On Hampstead Heath, I invoked a spirit of place, and he turned up as this guy called Quaver, who looked actually not unlike Thomas Truax. And when he disappeared in a cloud of bats, which I thought was taking the piss, quite frankly. It's Tim Burton directing this ritual. I'm not a 15-year-old goth girl. I'd like to be. Magic always works, but always works in really fucking annoying ways, right? For example, I met Hermes. Right? When I was trying to learn the Orphic hymn to Hermes, the thing I do at the beginning of the show, trying to get those words into my head, I just kept repeating it. Hermes draw near to my prayer incline, angel of Jehovah, my son divine. I used my journey down to the Oriental food shop in Archway. I was getting some miso paste because it's awesome, right? And all the way down, Hermes draw near to my prayer incline, angel of Jehovah, my son divine. And oh yeah, thank you very much. No, it is awesome, isn't it? And turned around, and right there, stood in the doorway, with no shadow of doubt, and I wasn't the only one that saw him. About 6'2", it was Hermes. This unmistakable figure of Hermes. Well, I mean, a courier from the company Hermes, but he's wearing a high vis that said fucking Hermes. I'm having that one, right? It always works, but it works in really fucking annoying ways. I did a ritual around my mate Jason's house. Jason's an artist, and he's got an incredible occult sensibility. He doesn't practice ritual magic, but he's got it in his blood. And he's got an incredible esoteric collection. Right? He's got loads of human skulls. Now, we've all got one. Jason's got loads. I've got two, right? My wife. I know, I was surprised. We fuck other people, don't get involved. A joke, Andrew, or an offer? Yeah. When my wife, Stephanie, 2 years ago, bought me a human skull for Christmas. I know, right? He died circa 1922, right? And so that means he's a Victorian, fucking the best present I've ever received. Now, you know that thing where you have to, like, lower someone's expectations of what you've got them? It doesn't matter how much shit from Lush you buy someone, it doesn't balance out a human skull, I have discovered. Now then, Jason was genuinely excited that I was staying at his house because he doesn't know any practicing magicians, and he just made a new couple of acquisitions in his esoteric collection. He just bought 2 human shin bone trumpets, right? Fucking incredible. A local necromancer apparently had died, right? And then he auctioned off all his stuff. No, he hadn't. It wasn't that good. Oh, that means hold out for more. No, some other people. And Jason bought these 2 human chimbo trumpets, so he takes me into his study, and they're both of them in these beautiful, heavy, ornate, wooden hinged boxes. And it's incredible. So the human shin bone, very easy to hollow out, and it's got trumpet fitting on one end and the mouthpiece at the other. Really heavy kind of brass fittings, both gargoyles and kind of different, both sort of a matching pair and a beautiful weaved sort of rope. Incredible. So what are these for? And he said they're to summon chaos demons, a phrase I've never heard before or since, to come into your life, and they separate your ego from your mind. Now, this is a great idea because our minds are all saddled to our egos. We all ride our mind around and we see the world in a way that benefits us. That's what confirmation bias is all about. Now, particularly as a performer, I've got a fucking massive ego. Don't know if you noticed the mics, the lights on the microphone. This is a really good idea because if I separate my ego from my mind, then I see more truth in the world, and then I can splurge more truth out into the world. So this is a great idea. So I said, have you ever used them? And he went, he's fucking petrified. And I said, do you mind if I do? And he went, not with me in the room. Okay, fair enough. So Jason leaves and rejoins the party upstairs. And I improvised a ritual using one of these trumpets. And I began doing the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram. It's a very simple kind of basic ritual, it's essentially kind of magical hygiene, right? You carve out a sort of safe space around you. You draw pentagrams, you invoke archangels, and you push out anything you don't want, and it protects you. And then I did an improvised invocation of this entity that was going to come into my life and remove my ego from my mind. And then at the culmination of this ritual, I blew the trumpet. Now, I expected a beautiful kind of satanic sound. I had no fucking idea. I expected, because I can blow a trumpet. I can do the thing, right? And I expected kind of, fucking Satan on the helm in the cave of the Dragon King. It didn't make that sound. It went like this. Culmination of the ritual. Ego reduced. I am mighty magician! So I popped the trumpet back in its box and I popped my tail between my legs and I rejoined the party. And I knew that something would actually come into my life to affect this change. It wasn't enough for it to just happen in the ritual. There would just be some sort of entity that would come into my life and reduce my ego. Genuinely went home the next day. My wife had adopted a kitten. Spent the next 2 years cleaning up his piss and shits. Labour backbencher to the left of the party. No ambition for power. MP for Islington North. Jeremy Corbyn in class today. Jeremy Corbyn in class today. BBC presenter, 25 years on Newsnight. Moonlights on University Challenge. Wrote a book about the English. Jeremy Paxman in class today. in class today. There's a thing in comedy, ladies and gents, called the rule of three. Soz. As a result, this song is called Diminishing Returns. Founder of University College London, inventor of philosophical concepts of utilitarianism. His preserved head is still in the college, but his body is rotten. Everyone! Jeremy Bentham in class today. And again! Jeremy Bentham in class today. Thank you very much.